Jai Shri Ram. This is a GRE issue prompt. Unfortunately, in contemporary society, creating an appealing image has become more important than the reality or truth behind that image. This could be the topic on which you would be required to write an essay. You would be given 30 minutes, and there are 6 grade points which you can get. And if you do well, anything above 4 is very good. What are the instructions? Write a response in which you discuss the extent to which you agree or disagree with the statement and explain your reasoning for the position you take. In developing and supporting your position, you should consider ways in which the statement might or might not hold true and explain how these considerations shape your position. So, usually, this is how the instruction is going to be. Now, let me see what you think. Why don't you write an essay? What are you going to do? How are you going to start? I think I've already given a lot of talks on essays, especially GRE essays. I think I will just brush up your memory again. They use a standard rubric, a standard rubric, RUBRIC. Rubric means a set of instructions to follow. A rubric, the word rubric has many meanings. It can also mean a chapter heading or title under the rubric of Indian politics. So, rubric can mean title, it can mean set of instructions to follow, it can also mean assessment criteria. Originally, it was a red kind of title which was embossed on books which were bound with leather. So, that meaning is not so very important anyway. So, the rubric that the GRE test reader, who are actually 2 professors, they will read your response and evaluate it. The broad criteria they use are, you can remember it using a mnemonic, GODAV, Godava. In Telugu, Godava means a problem. Anyway, an English speaker won't understand why I was laughing. G is grammar. Obviously, sentences should be grammatically correct. O is an organized response, which means you must have a clear introduction, a clear conclusion, and a body of the response, and each paragraph should be very organized. You cannot ramble. You're not writing any love letter here. So, programmed writing is what you should do. Well, what is programmed writing? I think we can remember it as PREP formula. P for point, E for examples, R for reasons, and restating the point is P again. So if you start a paragraph, go about like this. Now let us examine some examples that A is good for health. That's the point. You will give examples of why A is good for health, because A contains LMNOP, blah blah blah. And then you will say how A helped people recover from some condition. That will be the reasons and examples you have given. Okay, reasons and examples. So I leave it to your imagination. I think you've understood. And then in the light of all the examples and reasons, we can safely conclude that A is good for health, blah blah. So if you can go about writing like this, you will be writing good paragraphs. So please do that. Now, D is details. Details simply means examples and reasons. So you need to, if you go on repeating the same thing using different words, you will lose out. And then A is addressing the topic. Are you addressing the topic? Often, people are tense and, they write something which seems unconnected to the topic. So that shouldn't be the case. So spend some time to understand the topic. And V, the last one, for vocabulary. Definitely use some words which you are comfortable with. So you need to practice maybe 5 or 6 good words, heavy words, GRE words. Practice. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand the collocations. If your vocabulary is poor, better not use such words, because messing up with words is worse than not knowing words. So that was the criteria I just explained, and I will leave it to you. Write your response, send it to me on WhatsApp, and then we will see how you are doing. Bolo Jai Shri Ram.